Peace talks over Ukraine are developing quickly, but do you think China could still play a role?
Of course, Beijing can play a role. It has close ties with Moscow. Should it choose to encourage Moscow to move more quickly to accept certain terms, I mean, it wouldn't have a veto, wouldn't decide anything, but I think Beijing's sentiment, its words, would have a certain sway on Moscow. Personally, they seem to have a pretty direct relationship with each other. And beyond that, the PRC is a major purchaser of Russian oil that keeps the Russian economy going, including in times of war. It also supplies key components to the Russian economy, including some components that seem to be dual use and allows the Russian war machine to keep running.
How might Beijing read Trump's latest push for peace talks on Ukraine?
One of the things to watch is whether she and the PRC leadership read Trump's push for peace in Ukraine as an example of him not being ready or willing to stand up to more pressure and more tension, that he backs down in the face of trouble. That might encourage Beijing to perhaps step up pressure on the US on issues such as trade, but certainly also on disputes in the East China Sea, Taiwan, and the South China Sea, which involve US allies and friends.
Is she actually interested in getting involved in Ukraine and brokering peace there?
She could be interested. I mean, there are certain things that I think she has tried to portray himself as, such as a peacemaker. That's not been particularly effective in the Russia Ukraine case so far. Perhaps this is an opportunity to do so. However, I think she doesn't want to look like he's playing second fiddle either. So that might sort of create more complications for Xi's calculations. She also, I think, doesn't want to be cut out of any sort of big arrangement. So I guess she will have to figure out what the sort of different, elements are there for him to latch onto, or whether it's too big a risk. Because it's also possible that the negotiations might break down, and in that case, I don't think Beijing wants to bear any responsibility.